Now hello and welcome to a video on why I think single player games are better than multiplayer games, other than me being a sad bastard with no friends. And I will give out my points and I will pinpoint different games I think are pretty good as single player experiences, and we shall see how it goes. Now the first game I want to talk about is the Uncharted series, which is an adventure saga that first introduces us to Nathan Drake. In Drake's fortune, we are thrown into a gunfight, and obviously as we learn the buttons, without a worry of a second player messing up everything by shooting randomly, and the focus was on the player. So by the time the actual adventure started, you just had to figure out what to do for yourself. It was on you. And you also had a newspaper woman following you, but she was computer controlled. You also had Sully. But they weren't really controlled by another player, messing up the progress. And then you have Uncharted 2 set pieces of Drake hanging off the bush on the side of a snowbound cliff. And the camera is planted directly at his face. Now imagine if you had to take another player while you were running that epic moment, and obviously he'd be ruining it, wouldn't he? That epic moment by shouting in your microphone, "Come on, get to the gameplay, I'm bored." And then you have the third game in the series. Okay, it's not as good as 4 or 2, but you have a very sexy looking sands and collapsing buildings and running between, like, obviously buildings, and then you're wondering where to go next. Now imagine if you couldn't get to do that and your player 2 had died, and it'd be game over before you'd even got to figure out where to go. So, and you'd be pretty much pissed off. So I know I'm pretty rambling by now, so I'll move on to the next game. Now the next game I want to talk about is Absu, and it's a gorgeous underwater adventure game by the creators of Journey. In this you play a nameless diver that has a mysterious past, and as you go along you can see alien triangles, fish swimming, and it's just, the graphics make me remind myself of the Wind Waker, which is the Legend of Zelda, with the cel shading. Now if the game was 2 players, the atmosphere would be lost, and it would probably be turned into a fish shooter, or a Call of Duty underwater, or a straight 2-player puzzler. So when the game sold well as a single player experience, I think it was the starter to people wanting a single player shit. And then obviously games after that came out like God of War and stuff like that. And really, if you do want a single player indie game, now check out Absu and the aforementioned Journey. The next indie game I want to talk about is The Unfinished Swan. and I'll talk about this with personal experience. The Unfinished Swan has critical praise by magazines, media, and so forth and so on. So I started playing it via PS Now and downloaded it to my PlayStation 4. And a friend was here when I started to boot it up. And straight away, his words were, "This looks boring, where are the guns?" And straight away, I thought, yep, thank God it's single player. This was built to be experienced and not run round shooting swans and birds and army men. If you haven't played it, then you need to, as it's just a very basic looking game. It's a white background and you have a black paint gun. And as you turn around shooting these paints, it reveals level after level after level. So it's one of them gorgeous games that you do really need to play. And finally, the last game I want to talk about, should I say, is I've left this until last as it's a swan song for single player games, and it's The Last of Us. This is created by Naughty Dog, and the story is about Joel trying to survive an apocalypse with Ellie. Now there's so much emotion written into these two that it's almost human. The beginning is emotional enough, to be honest, and I couldn't really see this being written as any other way other than a single player game. And other people must have thought the same because it sold really, really well on the PlayStation 3 originally and the remaster on PlayStation 4. The control system is so fluid that it's unbelievable. And imagine if you had a second player playing as Ellie, running around randomly looking at their own stuff while you're trying to sort out a puzzle and trying to move on with the adventure. And every set piece that you see in this game, you wouldn't get as a two-player game. I think the dynamics would change completely as a two-player game, and I don't think it'd work, and I don't think it'd sell that well. Alright, there is online on it, but I don't think that's really 50-50. People like it, people don't like it. So there we go. So there are my 4 games I would like to talk about. And yeah, thank you for watching. And please join me again for another video at some point. So thank you and bye.